We begin with breaking news at 7:15. 7 News first on the scene of a fire at an apartment complex in Denver.
This is the Kennedy Ridge apartment complex over on Dartmouth near Havana. Our crew got there right before firefighters, just a little after 4 this morning. Bertha Lynn is joining us now with the latest. Bertha?
All right, thanks, Mitch and Anna. We have a little commotion behind us. They're wrapping it up. Guys, don't stop on our account. You're just fine to go ahead and roll up those hoses. This has been quite a morning here at Kennedy Ridge Apartments. The fire broke out early this morning, and Min, you are a neighbor who saw the flames. What did you see? It must have been a wild scene.
Yeah, I woke up and the flames were higher than the back tree over there. Just astonishing and crazy.
Maxim Mobile also was here. You live in that building, and you rescued a woman.
Yes, just where you see the fireman right there from that ladder right there from the third floor. There where we had a lady trapped in, with her dog. So we went and get a comforter, and she threw her dog onto air, and she got herself onto air too. So yeah, we rescued the lady. She was doing okay.
I'm glad to hear that, Maxim. And now you've got some donated clothes on your body to stay a little bit warm, but you're going to go back into your apartment to see if everything is okay in your building.
Yeah, hopefully everything is okay in there. But yeah, I'm happy. I got somebody give me. You see the jacket I'm wearing? Yeah, I got it from somebody. You can see I'm really cold right now, but I'm just happy everything is over.
Well, we're pleased with what you did this morning, a 26-year-old hero. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Dennis Champagne is with the... Philip Champagne is with the Denver Fire Department. Excuse me, Phil. And how big was this fire? I mean, we've gone to a lot of fires. How big was this one?
This fire was one apparatus short of a second alarm fire. It was utter chaos when we arrived on scene. Flames about 30 feet above the roof line when we arrived.
What about those 2 people who were transported?
We had 2 people injured. We had other people injured as well. They weren't transported. They were treated and released on scene. We did have 2 transports. One lady jumped. Broke her leg. These parties were trapped. They couldn't get out. The stairwell was burnt out. We prefer people to not jump, obviously. Thank you.
To stay in place safely. All right, thank you so much, Phil Champagne, Denver Fire Department. These guys are wrapping up. Their work is done this morning, and the investigation will continue. We'll let you know. I asked. They do not know what caused this fire. They're going to be taking a look at that, and we'll pass it along as soon as we find out. Reporting live in Denver at Kennedy Ridge Apartments, I'm Bertha Lynn. Now back inside to the studio.
Good work. Thank you, Bertha, for the latest.
And it's a mild start to the day. Here's Lisa.
Yeah, very mild. Temperatures right now pretty close to 50 in some spots. 83 degrees by 3 o'clock, so you can see just how warm it's going to get. We're expecting a lot of sunshine today, and it stays sunny even through that sunset at 7:45 tonight.
You can see down at the Denver Tech Center, looking at a wide open drive, less than 20 minutes between here and downtown, but plenty of sunshine to slow you down on 470.
Pretty day, but it's also a busy one. Developing an investigation this morning to tell you about. Police are trying to figure out what prompted a deadly shooting that happened outside a church in Aurora.
This morning, the pastor's mother and the gunman are both dead. The shooting happening yesterday afternoon at Destiny Christian Center, just as worship services were coming to an end. Now, police believe the gunman was involved in an earlier dispute. An off-duty officer happened to be inside the church and confronted the shooter. The pastor's mother, Josephine Eccles, was shot. Those who knew her call her mom. They tell us she had no enemies.
She's like a mother to a lot of people in the church. You can always talk to mom.
Police still don't know if the gunman had a connection to the church.
Now, we checked with Destiny Center's Facebook page, and we found this message left on the wall. Take a look. It says, please keep Pastor Strahan and the Strahan family and the Destiny Center in your prayers. Thank you. Please try and refrain from calling the family. Please send all concerns to the message box. Again, thank you.
A makeshift memorial is growing at the site of a deadly crash in Denver, and this morning accident investigators are still trying to figure out what was going on inside a Lincoln Navigator just moments before it hit a tree. 3 people were killed and another person is still in critical condition at a hospital this morning. Now, all this happened around 1:30 yesterday morning on the corner of Perry and Bayot. We brought this to you as breaking news yesterday morning on 7 News. Neighbors say they heard a car accelerating, then a loud explosion before they found the Navigator wrapped around the tree.
Went to the driver's side to see the driver's side, and there was actually a tree in the driver's side.
The way it was wrapped, I mean, it was wrapped around there pretty good. They had to be going pretty fast.
The 4th passenger here, 18-year-old David Garcia, is the one who survived, and he is at Denver Health this morning, again in critical condition. Witnesses say none of the victims were wearing seatbelts at the time. A bottle of alcohol was found in the car, and police are trying to figure out if the victims were drinking before that crash.
Thank you, Christine. What could be one of the most scandalous political trials in years, it gets underway today. Opening statements begin in the John Edwards trial a little later this morning. He's accused of using presidential campaign money to cover up an affair. His ex-mistress is expected to be one of those people taking the stand. If convicted, Edwards could get up to 30 years in prison.
At 6:50 now, developing this morning, a Senate committee is digging deeper into that Secret Service prostitution scandal this past week, and they're looking for patterns of misconduct. Meanwhile, it's a female Secret Service chief being credited with helping to uncover and eventually contain the scandal when it first erupted. Paula Reed was recently promoted to Secret Service boss for the Miami field office and all of South America. She was in Colombia when she heard about a prostitute at the Hotel Caribe complaining that she wasn't being paid by one of the Secret Service agents under Reed's command. She quickly notified Washington and then rounded up the 11 agents involved.
We've got new video this morning of George Zimmerman walking out of a Florida jail. This video was taken just after 10 last night, our time here in Colorado. The man who shot 17-year-old Trayvon Martin in Florida in March, now out of jail, as we said, he awaits trial on second-degree murder charges.
And ABC's Tamon Bradley is live in Florida with a look at what's next. Good morning, Tamon.
Good morning, Anna and Mitch. George Zimmerman made no public statement when he left the Seminole County Jail carrying his personal items in a brown paper bag. He left with his bail bondsman, and news photographers caught the moment. George Zimmerman is once again a free man. Around midnight, the man accused of murdering Trayvon Martin walked out of a Florida County jail on bond. Zimmerman was fitted for an electronic monitoring device so the sheriff's office can identify his whereabouts anywhere in the U.S. at any given time. His destination is being kept secret. It could be outside of Florida. Zimmerman's safety remains a concern. As he left jail, it appeared he was wearing a bulletproof vest. He did the same thing at his bail hearing on Friday.
I think there's still a lot of emotions wrapped around the case, and we're worried that some of those emotions are still negative and that may play out against George.
To make bail, Zimmerman had to put up $15,000 of the $150,000 bond. Residents of Sanford, Florida are watching Zimmerman's movements closely.
I didn't think that he would be able to get out until there was some kind of trial.
They better not let him get out here. Ain't no telling what might happen.
Zimmerman claims he shot Trayvon Martin in self-defense. At the bail hearing, the neighborhood watchman stunned the court by taking the stand, offering an apology to Trayvon Martin's parents.
I wanted to say I am sorry for the loss of your son. I did not know how old he was. I thought he was a little bit younger than I am, and I did not know if he was armed or not.
The 17-year-old was not armed. Since the shooting, support for Martin's family has been enormous. Over the weekend, national recording artists attended a church service in Tampa to show support. The start of the actual trial could be a year away. In the meantime, Zimmerman is required to follow a strict 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Zimmerman's attorney has said there's several possible locations for his client to stay as he awaits for the trial, but Mitch and Anna, it's possible he could stay anywhere and that those locations will not be made public for his safety.
Yeah, since his safety is such an issue, I'm curious, Tamon, does the state providing him some kind of protection at all?
Well, Mitch, because he's received death threats, yes, the state will advise him on what's the best way for him to possibly be kept safe. They'll give him advice on where he could go. And so they're going to take it very seriously. Anytime you receive death threats and there's reports of a bounty being out for him on his head, they're going to take that very seriously. That's a legal matter, and the state will provide some security.
And Tamon, we know the trial is likely still about a year out, maybe even more, but given the high-profile situation with this case, is there any talk yet about moving the trial?
There has been some initial talk about that. There are a lot of concerns that this is very high profile and it's very heated down there in that Florida county. And so there is initial talk that possibly it could be moved, but that decision hasn't been made yet, Anna.
All right, Tamon Bradley reporting live from Washington with the latest on the Trayvon Martin case. Thank you. Time for your voice, your vote this morning. As we reported last week, President Obama is speaking on the CU Boulder campus tomorrow. Now today, some tickets are being given out to the public. We don't know how many are really going to be available. They will be given out at the Coors Event Center on the CU Boulder campus at noon. It's first come, first serve. Take a look at the video of students lining up at CU Boulder yesterday to get tickets for this very same event. Our partners at the Boulder Daily Camera were there as the students waited to get their hands on some 4,500 tickets available to students. Some didn't want to miss out on their chance to hear the president talk about the future of several things, not the least of which would be student loans. So they arrived very early, some before sunup. They're all smiles there once they did get those tickets. They're celebrating. Much more on Your Voice, Your Vote for all the latest political headlines, the poll numbers, you name it. We've got it at thedenverchannel.com. Just click on politics.
Let's check back in now with Lisa and Jason.
What a start to the day. 48 degrees right now in Denver, 45 in Littleton. You barely even need a sweatshirt this morning. Parker, 47. Give it about an hour. We will quickly get into the 50s. Plenty of sunshine to help us get there. Look at Greeley, just gorgeous. From the top of the UNC campus, just beautiful. Mostly sunny also in Highlands Ranch. You're going to find clear skies to start the day statewide and temperatures that are well above normal. The average high today, 63 degrees. We're looking at temperatures that are much closer to the record of 85 set back in 1989. In fact, we're expecting 60 by 9 o'clock. By noon, 75. By 5 o'clock, we'll be in the low 80s after hitting highs right around 83 to 85 degrees. Thornton today, 85. Broomfield, 82. Erie, 83. Littleton, 79. Look at the high country, 60s and 70s in store today. Steamboat, 78. Grand Junction, almost 90 degrees. Low 80s, really covering all of eastern Colorado. Now today, fire concern, it's going to be there. We still have very hot, dry conditions across the eastern plains, but tomorrow we've actually got a fire weather watch that goes into effect for northwestern Colorado as those winds pick up. I'm going to say that here in Denver we'll see winds anywhere between about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Not as bad tomorrow, but it is going to get windier in the mountains. Look at what happens on Tuesday. 86 tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the hottest day of the week, one of the hottest days that we have seen since last season. Then by the end of the week, things start to cool down. Thursday, we've got a chance of rain. Slight chance of storms on Wednesday, so things do mix up a little bit, Jason, toward the middle of the week with 60s for the coming weekend.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. It looks like the low temperatures are almost going to be the high temperatures for later in the week. You can see, look at this, I-25, very quiet but heavy for us down through 84th Avenue. Starting to see more of that sunshine affect the drive on 36 and then getting into downtown on I-25. Starting to see more traffic on that Santa Fe corridor as well as 285. Again, that sunshine is going to be a major factor. Here's where that fire is down at Havana and Dartmouth, just on the west side of Parker Road, so that obviously is going to be a bit of a trouble spot if you're going to be heading that way. And look at the west side of town looking really nice. Live CDOT camera shows us some of that sunshine. Here's 6th Avenue. That's going to be kind of a tough one, as well as that drive coming in along I-70. So in pockets we're going to see some heavier than normal stop-and-go traffic because of all that sunshine that we have to deal with here this morning. And the chair is about 4 feet too high here.
There you go.
Jeez, look
like a pituitary giant.
I know, it goes up there and I'm like, hello, how are you?
We look
the
up
other
to
way.
you anyway,
All right,
Jason.
there we go. That's better.
Thanks so much for joining us.